of Uganda Family TV. Thank you for always following us on all our social media platforms, and I won't stop saying thank you. And this program right about now, 6 p.m. We're always on Family Talk Show. Do you have anything to ask? Do you have anything to really talk about with family? Are you going through are you amidst of storms? Today we are going to be talking about dreams and understanding your spouse and everything that is really on dreams. But how was your day? How is your day? How are you getting through the jam and going home? We love you so much. And Brenda Mahooro is my name. I love you so much. Let my guests introduce themselves, and then we shall be sailing through the questions. Hey.
So thank you very much. My name is Ronald Kiguba. I'm a pharmacist by professional training, and also a lecturer at Mahooro University. Most importantly, I am a husband, I'm a father, and I have a wife who will introduce herself. So thank you very much. I hope that we'll enjoy our interaction.
True.
Thank you, Brenda. I'm Irene Kiguba. Currently, I'm a businesswoman, and I'm passionate about business and empowering women. I'm an accountant by profession, and I'm married to my dear husband, Ronnie. I call him Ronnie. Yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to having a fantabulous time.
Yeah, wow. And you're joking. Ronnie has kept you wow. Yeah, you're looking good. Thank you. Yeah, let me first introduce the topic of today: dreaming and standing together in the midst of the marriage storms. Yeah, how do you combine your dreams together with your spouse? I'm looking at a woman has their dreams, and women and husbands have their dreams. So how do you match up your dreams and be like, okay, let me understand that these are the dreams? First of all, please, before we go into the topic of today, please first tell us like your love story. How did you meet that beautiful woman? Yes.
So how did we meet? It's
brief background. Brief, because I know that if you begin to of the story, it's going to take. Yes, it may take.
So brief indeed, because I can spend the whole day.
I know.
About this.
Yes.
In fact, at one point we had thought of writing a book.
But where did you write?
Yes. So how did we meet?
Yeah.
Essentially, there was a time in my life when I moved my focus to my work and to my family, because at that time I remember I had lost a father and also had lost our eldest brother. Eldest in the sense that we were looking to him to support the family. So I did not have a lot of interest in adding responsibility.
Yeah.
Of a wife. However, along the way, the need within me began to grow. The burning kept on growing, and I started to pray. Of course, I had been praying all the way through childhood. We kept on listening to inspiring messages from marriage counselors like the there were quite a number of them. We had the Senyonis, we had the Langas, lots of them that used to come in from abroad.
Yeah.
And we used to have many of them at the conference center in the late 90s
and they used
and early 2000s.
to talk about marriage?
And they used to talk about how to find the love.
Yeah, how to date.
So, and it meant that you have to start by preparing yourself. So I started to pray, and God started to show me the things I needed to do to position myself to receive my future spouse. And I remember reading the book of Isaiah.
The whole of it?
There was a book of Isaiah, but there were some specific scripts, like chapter 11.
Yeah.
And one time when we were having family week at Watoto Church, I met her. She was not new to me because we had been through the same school.
Yeah.
But what struck me most was that along the way, she read some scriptures and shared some of those scriptures with me. And some of those scriptures, I'd actually read them in that book of Isaiah I talked about in chapter 11. So, and we kept on, so that's how we started.
Yeah.
The story is really long.
Really long. Yeah, let me just, Irene, what are those words that Mr. Ronnie used that they struck your heart?
I should say it was a good thing.
Yeah.
Meeting someone you last saw in secondary school. I'd last him in
So
secondary
it was
school.
ordained by God.
Yes, because he confirmed
Yes.
that it was him in it. So I met him, and at first we became friends at first. He didn't mention that we were friends for some time, around 8 months, and then we started dating. How did I know that he was the right person for me? I heard from God.
Hey, wow. Starting with on the topic.
Before
Yes.
my prayer was a God after God's own heart. But you know, in church there are so many men
Yes.
after God's own heart. And as a human person, I can't look into their hearts. And this is a person you're going to trust the rest of your life with your heart, and with you're going to give them your all. So I dived into prayer and I prayed to God. You know, God knew me more than anyone else. So I asked
So
God
there
that,
and then you just dived into prayer.
Yes.
Yeah, talking of dreams, was Ronnie your ideal man? Or was he your ideal man? Like, this was my dream guy. You know, like talking about myself.
I'm getting
I'm
there.
single. I'm single, and I would want to know, because when you're really there, you're young girl, you're like, I want my dream guy to be this, to be rich, to have, or to own a dance, to own what, you know, those things. So was Ronnie your ideal? Yeah, according to dreams.
I'm getting there.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
before we used to attend, you know, when you're in that campus time, you attend so many conferences, so many fellowships, and so many, you get really exposed to so many things of what to expect in a relationship, the do's and the don'ts. Some of them are frightening. So I prayed to God. There is a particular pastor who came one time, it was at Untitled Church, and he said something that stuck in my heart. If you want an excellent husband, let's say that
That is
excellent
what he
husband is A, you need to work on yourself to be also an excellent wife. God cannot waste his A on a D. So that changed the way I perceived this marriage thing. You know, you look at
on an F.
Yes, an F, yes, true.
F9.
Yes. So it perceived the way I looked at, you know, us girls, we come with our list. I want a handsome, a hunk, a tall man, one who drives a Prado, these expensive cars. You know, they have these crazy lists.
Yeah, who goes to the gym.
Yes, those ones.
When they,
yes. So my focus changed to who is Irene. How can I work on myself to be A? Because I knew automatically God would give me an A if I was an A. So I worked on myself, and I thank God because he gave me
an A.
An A. Yes.
And maybe just to add something, that many singles have lists.
Yeah, they have.
And they want to find that person who matches all the items on that list.
Is it bad?
It is a good thing, but let me bring God's kingdom into the place that he wants it to be. So at the end of the day, the longer your list is, the harder it is for you to get the right person. Remember, on top of the written list, you also have the invisible list.
What is the invisible list?
And you are not consciously aware that there could be 100 items in your head. So you need to open up your mind and focus on the critical issues. If the person should be God-fearing, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it. The rest of it, you work towards meeting the kind of person that God has prepared for you. Yes.
Wow, that's nice. So Irene, before you came into Adelaide, you met your A.
Yes.
Now meeting your A, you had your dreams.
Yes.
I understand that you have your dreams, and then men are the vision bearers. First of all, what is a dream? Before we go any further, someone would want to understand what is a dream. How does a couple dream together? Yes. And then you had your dream before you met Mr. Ronnie. How did you forego your dreams and you're like, let me come up and really understand, okay, the man is a vision bearer? Let's begin with Mrs. Irene.
Okay. A dream, to me, those are aspirations, things you're looking or planning for ahead of time. Yeah, so these dreams could be career dreams.
Yeah.
They could be marriage dreams. So I remember when we were dating, I had 5 dreams.
Tell us about your
And I shared them with him. Then he wasn't yet my husband. He phoned me with the dreams already. One of them was to complete a professional course. He phoned me doing a professional course. I may not mention all the 5. But one of them was to complete a professional course. And for me, all these 5, I wanted them before marriage. But when we looked at the dreams, we realized that actually some of them could be done even when I am married. So we got married, and before the marriage we had to do professional counseling. Now that's one thing that I urge single people out there to consider. You know, in life we spend 20 years plus preparing for our careers,
but
when you reach to prepare for marriage, some people take 3 months and you find them.
Some say it is God sent.
Yes, some say it's God sent and they just dive into the thing. But you need to put aside time and focus on this one thing and understand what you're going into. So I had to put my career, I should say my career, on hold. He also had to put some things on hold. He was in a transition whereby he used to travel very often, and he had to put that aside, and we put aside 1 and some extra month, 1 year and some extra month, to just understand ourselves and to do counseling.
With the help of the counselor?
With the help of the counselors, yes. And this was very, very, very helpful. So that foundation played and still plays a big part.
Even up to
in
now?
Our marriage, yes. So I'm coming back to the dreams. So some of those dreams, I thought that I would continue with them after I would get married. But when we got married, it's like a flip.
Like
somehow things
when
change.
The flip come. You already know that.
Now the flip, you know, after the counseling, we got married. So I thought that after marriage,
I'm going to continue with my dreams.
I'll continue with my studies and he'll continue with his things. But then we realized that, you know, there is that 1 year of honeymoon. So of course he couldn't travel. That is something we agreed upon.
Your honeymoon was 1 year?
Yes, honeymoon is supposed to be 1 year.
Others go for 2 days and they go back to work.
What I mean is not you being away, but you can go away for some weeks. But as a married couple, you need to be together for at least that 1 year. It's more like a honeymoon season for you. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, essentially the Jewish honeymoon is what you're talking about. You put aside every other heavy commitment and you focus on understanding this person. So my assignment was to understand who Irene is. Yes, she's beautiful and she's relational, But then she has other needs, and she also has other, the way she presents herself. So I needed to understand who Irene is. She also needed to understand who I am. You see, when we meet for 2 minutes for a cup of tea and then we each go back to our homes,
that's not enough.
It's less than the tip of the iceberg. So, but now you have an opportunity. You're under the same roof. None of you is putting forward your best foot. You are now your real self, and you need time to go through that initial phase of bonding. Bring down your expectations, begin to forge your way forward. And that's really, really important. So, but if you have other major commitments, so soon after marriage, I'm going for further studies.
Some of them
or I'm going back to my job. So we're married. She works in Bundi Bujo, and I am based in Gulu. And we meet for 1.5 days.
You call yourself on video call.
That's not real. So that's why that 1 year of honeymoon helps you to sort of streamline,
to understand,
bring down the expectations and get real. Get to know this is a human being. I'm also a human being, but we need to find a way of forming this team that will take us forward.
Yes. Then, Mrs. Irene, you've been telling us to flip you're now into reality.
Yes. Interestingly, after that 1 year, when I looked at those dreams and evaluated them, a number of things had changed.
You were evaluating them yourself alone?
I was evaluating
with
them
Mr. Ronnie.
First with myself, but then we discussed them afterwards. I realized that a number of things had changed. What seemed as very, very important then didn't seem that important now. There were other dreams that had come into picture. Yeah.
Wow, that's nice. Then, Mr. Ronnie, what happens when you're into this marriage and the vision bearer, right, who is a man, has no vision? Yeah, because you enter into marriage and then everything is really working out well, and then the man has no vision, like for you guys, has no dreams, that you're seeing maybe is slow, there's nothing that is really happening, you're not seeing the future. What happens to such a relationship or to such a marriage? Yeah.
For a start, I would say that would be very unfortunate. Because the Bible says that the people perish for lack of
vision.
So men have been designed to be leaders in their homes.
Yeah.
And that's a responsibility that they need to take on. It is a responsibility. It's not something like, you cherry pick. The same Bible, I think somewhere in Joel 2:28, if you read the next 4 verses up to around 32, it talks about how God, it was prophesying that in the latter days, He will pour His Spirit upon all flesh. And the young men and the young women will see visions. And the old men will dream dreams. Okay?
Sure.
So, everything rhymes with the fact that the man should dream. He should dream. So if there's no dream, then as a man you need to go back to the drawing board
and strategize.
Refocus. Because at the end of the day, you'll have to get up and dream and lead your family.
Yeah, and then Mrs. Irene, what happens to such a woman who is living with a husband who has no dreams? Okay, he might have a dream, but maybe he does not, like, how does the woman come in to help? Yeah, because you're already in marriage and you're seeing things are not working out well.
The Bible calls us wives to submit to our husbands. We need to be submissive. That's the first thing I should say. We need to pray for our husbands, for God to give them the visions and the dreams. We've seen people transform and people change. I would not recommend a wife to be the head of the home just because
Now,
husband
if the husband is not dreaming.
is not dreaming,
Yes.
our job is to submit and we should pray. We've seen God change people. It's only God that can change. And where there is love, nothing fails.
So you bring in love.
So, yeah, but you pray to God to give your husband direction.
Yeah.
But also there is an aspect of teamwork. Sometimes when you work as a team, where I am weak he is strong, and where I'm strong he is weak. I know of couples whereby the woman is the breadwinner and the man is at home looking after the children. But there's nothing wrong with that. The woman provides and the husband looks after the home. They are working as a team. So it all comes back to, do you understand each other? Did you prepare? Do you have foundations? It is very, very vital and crucial. If you have those, I don't think the wife would feel bad that the husband has no
He's taking up
vision.
the place
Yes, because you work together. If it's to do a project, you'll do it together. Either it's the woman who has brought the money, it does not matter. You're doing things together. So teamwork comes in, plays a very big role. Because first of all, you set goals as a couple. That these are our goals. And when you set the goals, somehow both of you are on the same page. Secondly, you purpose on what you're going to do as a family or as a couple. In purpose, it includes serving God, it includes so many other things. But you purpose. So setting goals and being on purpose sorts at the end of it all playing as a team.
Wow.
Yeah.
And maybe just to add something on that, is that when we talk about submit, in Ephesians 5:21, it talks about submitting one to another. Submission means to give yourself up to another's power or authority. It does not mean that you're giving yourself up, to
Wholehearted.
to be abused or to be trampled on.
Violated.
It is a position of, allowing each other to be on the same plane so that you can think and work together. So the issue of setting goals can only happen when you have that sort of situation where the two of you can sit on the same table and work out your plans for the future. And so it does not arise at any one time that this man in the relationship, who is I would want to mention is the issue of competition.
Competition in homes.
Competition, the husband competing with the wife.
I'm looking.
So she's doing a PhD.
Yeah.
I also do it. Or she has this brand new
But what
car.
brings competition? Our people from Barara Wanange, you're welcome. We've just joined sometimes in Barara, but you're welcome. Send in your messages, ask questions. This is Family Talk Show. It happens every Friday, 6 p.m. Send in your questions. Tell us if you have a testimony you can give us. Are you dreaming together as a couple? What does it mean to dream together as a couple? Everything, do you have to dream together? Like everything, finances, you put them together. What are those activities that you have to do together, or maybe to dream together as a couple?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you leave yourself things? And what happens to homes that people dream differently? Yeah.
So first and foremost, like I mentioned, you need to avoid competition. Whatever you go out there to work for and bring home is for all of you. Okay?
Yeah.
If she succeeds, then I have succeeded. If I succeed, she has succeeded. So harmonize your goals. If you want to achieve your goals in Moscow, while I am in Calcutta, India. So weigh the options.
Yeah.
Ask yourselves in the first place, what was the purpose for our coming together? What is the purpose of marriage? Okay? So marriage has to stand tall in all your dreams and aspirations. And that's why sometimes, like we mentioned, there should be some sacrifices. There are things, there are dreams that you have to cut off and then grow in other aspects that glorify the marriage institution.
Wow, that's nice. Let's go in for a short break. We are coming back. What is your purpose? What is your purpose? We're going to come back on that.
Yes, we can. We can clear the debt of church house. And I want to invite you to give generously to the love gift. May God bless you as you give.
Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6. For to us a child is born, and to us a son is given. My name is Reverend David Asemwe, St. Stephen's Chisugu, Church of Uganda. Greetings to all Church of Uganda Family TV viewers. And I want to bring a word of hope that this son that is born to us, he is Emmanuel, which reminds us that God is with us through this season. And God will continue to be with us even 2022. Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year. We love you all and God bless you.
I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You're welcome from that short break. Today we have Mr. Ronnie and Mrs. Irene. They are married. They're telling us how to sail through the marriage storms, dreaming and standing together in the midst of the marriage storms. Yeah, before we went in for a short break, to cool like purpose, competition. You have a competition in you're already in the marriage, but you're competing. You want this and that, but that is not going to help. And Mr. Ron, you've been telling us about competition and our purpose.
Yes. So first of all, when you look at the Trinity, 3 in 1. Yeah. And there's no competition. And that's why they are able to achieve a lot.
But what happens to Mrs. Irene? What happens to a family where everyone is working differently? Everyone is working differently. There is no standing together. Talking about dreams and standing together. Me, I have my dream, and my husband has their dreams. So we are working differently. What happens to such a home?
First of all, working differently in a marriage befits the purpose of marriage. Yeah. Because that's not what marriage is intended for. I would ask then, why are you married if you're living 2 separate lives? Secondly, it is a cause, it causes strife in the marriage. And it also opens up gaps for the enemy to intrude into your marriage. In John, verse 10:10 says, a thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And the marriage institution needs to be protected because the enemy is out there.
Roaming like a lion.
Yes, and looking for ways to penetrate our marriages. And most times in our marriages, we feel like we are fighting with our spouses. There are times you feel like it's a fight against you and your spouse. Yet you're failing to realize the real enemy who is attacking your marriage. So living and doing things differently causes strifes which lead to storms. It is one of the things that lead to storms in marriage. And when you look at some of the storms, there are storms that come unexpectedly. There are storms that every marriage goes through storms. And every successful marriage has gone through storms. Yes. But then just imagine if you get hit by a storm in a
Children have come.
parenting.
So parenting my way is not the same as parenting her way. Because it's from the background. How was I brought up?
And you're a doctor. I know doctor.
So talking about them, talking about it seems a simple matter.
But it's
when the fight is on, you can do damage to each other. So some of the things that we have agreed upon, and ideally from the baseline when we received counseling, was that when the fights are on, number one, ensure that you keep the communication lines open.
The tips that we can use maybe to.
In theory, when they tell you please keep communicating, communication breakdown destroys marriages, it seems easy. Until you have to get down to bringing it to life and practicing it in your own life. So communication is something that you have to learn to do practically.
Maybe even Mrs. Irene can add on the tips. The woman's view, what things that maybe can be done.
Okay, first of all, I'll take you back a bit. To what storms are.
The experience.
Some of our viewers may not know what storms are. Storms are basically, in simple English, these are trying moments or challenging moments in a marriage. And every marriage experiences them. And it is okay to experience a storm. It is how you deal with the storm that matters the most. Storms can be financial struggles. They can be career struggles. It can be infertility in the marriage. It can be there are so many storms in the marriage. But one thing we need to know at the back is our God is bigger than these storms. And the first thing that we need to note that our God, whatever we are going through, whatever situation you might be going through, whatever storm is in your marriage, your God is bigger than it. In Isaiah 41, the Lord said, when he told his disciples, Jesus told his disciples that in this world there will be tribulations, but you will overcome it with God. So at the top of everything that we are talking about, we need to look to God to handle whatever we are going through.
And it goes with understanding who your spouse is. That's why we talked about the 1 year of honeymoon. When I say something to her, it will be hard for her to forget it. When she says something to me, I can easily, because I know her, I can easily, brush it off. So when you understand the person, so I say less, sometimes she will say more. but because of our personalities,
You
somehow
understood.
it works out for the team. So that's one. Two, you need to get deeper and deeper in your relationship with God. And you do this as an individual.
Not
First, as an individual, you need to ensure that your relationship with God
is strong.
is solid. Then, when we have a challenge, when we are facing a storm, we can, sometimes these storms help us to grow closer. When we are two, we are warmer, and we can figure out how to deal with challenges. So, companionship is critical. And thirdly, which is most important, is it's an act of worship to God. You know, it depicts the relationship between God and man, just as we see the church. You know? So, but now the relationship between a husband and a wife should depict the relationship between God and man. So basically, if all your other dreams are wrapped around those three tenets, most probably you're on track. But if you find that your career goals are tearing family apart, then there's a problem.
Yeah, and then Mrs. Irene, you're going to give us like your short like for women when they have
like
husbands
of that
they are
comes
following up their
out of
dreams, they hardly have no time for their families. Yeah.
And dreams are good, but we need to prioritize. What is it that is more important? Dreams can be chased anytime. I know people who are 70 and above who are still pursuing their careers, but they sacrificed time for their families and their marriages. So sacrifice comes in.
Yeah.
We need to learn to sacrifice.
Wow.
You may not see the fruits now, but later on you'll see